The 7 things you should be talking about today. Number 7.
Senate Minority Leader Bobby Singleton, Democrat out of Greensboro, stood firm at a Business Council for Alabama legislative series, defending his filibuster last week against State Senator Chris Elliott's bill to change the Alabama Department of Archives and History Board. These are the hills they want to die on. These are the hills they want to argue about. They want to fight about whether or not a state agency should be pushing LGBTQ nonsense. They may say, well, what's the big deal? It's the Department of Archives and History. It's not the point. This is a democracy, representative democracy. It is not a bureaucracy. And the bureaucracy has to be responsive to elected leaders. They don't think that's true.
Number 6.
The Alabama House of Representatives passed Parker's bill with a resounding 103 to 0 vote. A measure was introduced by State Representative Susan DuBose, Republican out of Hoover. Basically what it said is, if you're nursing, you shouldn't be in jury duty. This was inspired by a 3-month-old named Parker, who accompanied his mother to the Jefferson County Courthouse, and the judges there would not let her off jury duty, made her go to a dark, dank room in order to breastfeed. It was an absolute joke. And the people of Jefferson County still have not apologized for doing this. They can let these people off jury duty while they're nursing. Absolutely absurd not to.
Number 5.
The Department of Government Efficiency under Elon Musk and President Donald Trump is terminating Social Security. I mean, that's what they would have you believe. They're actually terminating the leases on a bunch of underutilized offices. Gadsden, Anniston, Jasper, Coleman. Now, these are underused remote hearing sites. 20% of offices like this have held 0 in-person hearings last year. Yet, people like Terry Sewell suggest that all cuts are murders. She is declaring this a disaster for every Alabamian. She's also complaining about IRS offices, 2 in Birmingham that face closure. She says this complicates taxes for working class Alabamians, which it does not.
Number 4.
After saying the war in Ukraine's end is very far away on Monday, now President Vladimir Zelensky says he is ready for peace and offered up an apology for the, quote, regrettable, end quote, Oval Office interaction with President Donald Trump. Trump appeared to accept that apology in a joint session of Congress. Zelensky offered to end the hostilities by releasing Russian prisoners, halting long-range drone and missile attacks on civilian targets, and sea operations contingent on Russia's mirrored actions. So now we have Zelensky in 24 hours flip-flopping from the end is far, far away to we'll stop tomorrow. Big W for Trump.
Number 3.
Some very positive polling for President Donald Trump before the speech. The CBS News YouGov poll shows a net approval rating on the Russia-Ukraine conflict at +2. This blows out President Joe Biden's -22 on the exact same issue. A disparity that CNN's Harry Enton described as, quote, a different planet entirely. This was after Donald Trump mixed it up with Zelensky. The media mocked him and attacked him nonstop. But the American people saw it and said, we want the end of this. and they back Donald Trump on this. Is the media that you consume representing that point of view?
Number 2.
Here we are again. How are we doing this still? Tommy Tuberville, the United States Senator, is still hinting at running for governor. I think it's happening. There's no reason for this to continue being talked about if it's not happening. You have Tuberville arguing that leading Alabama as its, quote, CEO, end quote, offers the ability to be more impactful than his United States Senate tenure. He's wrong. Tommy Tuberville is wrong about this. I got to make it clear. We need him in the Senate. That's what we need. He says he's not going to be up there forever. I hate this. I want him up there in D.C. I don't want him running for governor.
And now time for the number 1 thing you should be talking about today.
America is back, baby. That's according to President Donald Trump. The exact quote is, quote, America is back. That's according, like I said, to Donald Trump. In his speech that was framed around, quote, the renewal of the American dream, end quote. After 43 days, he's taking some big swings on the economy, border security, peace, and he was greeted by conservative applause in some USA chants that upset a lot of Karens. Democrats, like U.S. Representative Don Beyer of Virginia, boycotted the speech. Other clowns dressed in pink to talk about policies affecting women. What are they? Can someone tell me what they are? Speaker of the House Mike Johnson halted disruptions by ejecting U.S. Representative Al Green, a Democrat out of Texas, after warnings. Trump touted his accomplishments, including highlighting Elon Musk's Department of Government efficiency, slashing federal jobs and programs. He referenced hundreds of billions in potential savings per year. He sidestepped the Ukrainian aid pause after clashing with President Vladimir Zelensky, instead touting a mineral deal and Zelensky coming around and saying, let's make peace. He downplayed the 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and he doesn't believe that that's going to lead to inflation because they're going to get that resolved. That's what he thinks. Some think today there will be some movement on tariffs. I don't know. Donald Trump's got to stand firm on tariffs or they don't mean anything. That's a fact. Continuing on, Elizabeth Warren was mocked as Pocahontas to her face, which was hilarious. And the media and their Democrats called the speech divisive. They're having a rough time today. Not as rough as I'm having, but they're having a rough time today. So think about them and pray for them. Because the headlines they're going to have to write are going to say it's divisive, it's mean, it's all these things. But the people who watched the speech did not view it that way. They viewed it as inspiring and hopeful and patriotic. That's what the polls indicate. But the media insist on pretending that Donald Trump is some malign, hated character. And when they can't make it so, they just want to make it appear as so. So, ask yourself this question again. Is the media you're consuming reflecting reality or trying to shape reality? And I'm sitting here trying to shape the reality of my voice not being absolutely gone. But I'm naive, so I'll continue. You can continue as well. Voice your opinion. Get it in here right now. Get your questions in for 10 with him as well. 205-545-9950. We'll continue right here on the fastest hour of radio anywhere on your radio dial.
You're listening to News and Views with Dale Jackson.